everybody. So you have any question? Nobody in the public have question? Yes. Yeah, I can see from here.
Jai Gurudev. It's actually Upasaka who has a question. I just raised hand for him.
Ask a question. Oh.
Jai Gurudev. So Krishna in Bhagavad Gita chapter 18, verse 36 to 40, speaks about happiness, and we are all seeking happiness. He's speaking about three kinds of happiness, and I would really like if you can share more deeper meaning upon that.
Tell me the three kind of happiness.
It's Satwik, rajasic, and Tamsic happiness.
Well, there's Tamsic, rajasic, and Satwik. Throughout Bhagavad Gita, Krishna talk about that. You know, he talk about all these three gunas. You know,
Sure.
that happiness also can be divided into three. You know, and he give clear answer to that in these verses. No, he said happiness. You know, when we are talking about happiness, what is in our mind firstly? Being joyful, no? A bigger smile on the face. Yes or no? Then you say, yes, I am happy. Are you really happy? No. You're not happy. Fleeting glories, you know. Happiness is here today, and tomorrow it is not there. Nothing stay. We talk about happiness. In this word itself, where do you see a grain of happiness? Even in the devotee's life, happiness happens like a yo-yo. Depend on the mood, they keep changing. That means there is no such things as true happiness here. Now we are looking for happiness. Are you happy? Yes. But deep inside you're asking, how long would that happiness last? You are sad, that also don't last. It comes, it goes. So you see, which kind of happiness Bhagavan is talking about when he's talking about happiness? He's talking about that blissful state of happiness where you don't stay into that realm of being happy now, next moment not happy. Throughout the day, 15 times you change your mood. According to your thoughts, you keep changing. Happiness in the morning, in the evening you are depressed. Why? Because the mind is affected. Earlier in the Divya Prabandham, a little bit what I could hear, Namarvar were talking about where to center the mind. No? Where one mind have to be? On the feet of Sri Hari. But where do we put our mind? On the creation of Sri Hari. But even in that creation, Sri Hari is hidden. Until we can churn that ocean of the mind and perceive Him in everything, we are still into that delusion of happiness and not happiness. That's why Bhagavan said there is Satwik happiness, Tamsic happiness, rajasic happiness. Satwik happiness is those mind which is absorbed in continuous remembering of Sri Hari. Doesn't mean that there will not be a moment where Sadness will not be arise. Yes, but the mind is focused. The yogi's mind is like that. They perceive Bhagwan in his ultimate reality in everything. Then Tamsic happiness is people which is greedy, look only for themselves. I shall be happy, nobody else shall be happy. I shall get everything. You see the greediness of the world everywhere in this world now. Nah? Look at the state of the world. It's a state of full greediness. Though the mind, which is longing for happiness in that way, it is never enough. From 100,000, they want 1 million. From 1 million, they want 10 million. From 10 million, they want 100 million. 100 million, they want 1 billion. 1 billion, they want trillion. Are they happy? No. Because that state of mind, because of that greediness, make one never satisfied, never enough. Then you have rajasic happiness, which is just material happiness. Oh, I want a house, I want a car, I want a wife, I want a husband, I want children, I want this, I want that. Only material things. But they think, yes, I will be happy. But it doesn't last for long. You have it, you regret. You know, you want a beautiful car, the car got scratched, you get stress. You have a beautiful husband, no, the next husband is beautiful. I want the other one. How long does it last? Short. Because the mind is looking elsewhere. You can't fix the mind. In chapter 9, verse 34, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna said clearly what? In chapter 9, actually, he said similar things in verse 14 and verse 27 of the same. In chapter 9, verse 34, he said so beautifully, you know, just say to Arjun, fix your mind upon me. Be devoted to me. Sacrifice to me. Bow down to me. Surrender yourself. Unite yourself to me. Knows that I am the Supreme Lord. You shall come to me. So beautifully described. Here, Bhagavan didn't say that you can't have an aim in your life. He said, yes, you can have the highest aim. You know, I have placed you here for a reason, to attain to the highest aim of life, which is myself. That's what Bhagavan is saying to Krishna, to Arjun. So attain me by any means. Utilize whatever I have given you. Use them. But focus upon me. Don't let your mind be diverted from me. That's why he said, fix your mind upon me. Fixing the mind. You know, our mind is chanchal. Our mind is always jumping like a monkey from one branch to the other, from one ideas to the other. I have to do this, I have to do that. If I do this, I will be very happy. And if you don't become, what happened? I'll be miserable. It have to be like that. Bhagavan said, no, fix it upon the Supreme. Engage me in everything that you are doing. Do whatever you are doing, but remember me. Be devoted. Devoted doesn't mean just here singing bhajan, kirtan and all this stuff. No. Devoted means every moment of your life, you know that you belong to Sri Hari. That's what devoted means. You know? I'm devoted to him. I'm devoted to Guruji. I belong to him. And as I belong to him, he also belongs to me. Because it can't be only one way. The world give a one-way relationship, but with Bhagavan you have a two-way relationship. That's why that word devoted, what Bhagavan is saying right now, start by surrendering yourself, by, yes, I live my life for Him. Whatever I do, I sacrifice. Whatever duty I'm doing, whatever work am I doing into this world, I'm doing it for Him. Doesn't mean that you have to all run away to ashram or run away to caves or to the mountain. No, He did not say that. He said, whatever you are doing, I am with you. I'm engaging myself with you. Saint Ravidas, who was such a great saint from Varanasi, he was a shoe repairer and a tanner also. He was working with leather. Bhagavan didn't come to him. No, Bhagavan came to him. He was so engaged in his devotion to Sri Hari. He was working with leather. Even the Brahmin was always attacking him. But at each moment of his life, Bhagavan was there with him. Because his devotion, his mind was always absorbed on the remembering of Sri Hari. Srimad Narayana was all the time with him. He didn't perceive Srimad Narayana only when he's worshipping in the temple. No, at each moment, whatever he do, his work was that. Mirabai's guru, Raidas, he was also a shoe repairer. Once, Mirabai was a princess, and she married the king, and then she became queen. So the people were talking and said, but Mirabai, you are a queen, but look at your guru. Your guru, he's living in a hut. Sant Ravidas is living in a hut. There's a hole in the ceiling, I would not say made of plastic because at that time there was no plastic. So, but look at you. You are the queen. You are living so luxuriously in your palace. And of course, Mirabai felt sad about that. So Mirabai got from her mother a diamond. So she always carries a diamond with her because of the remembrance of her mother, because her mother died when she was young itself. So what she did, she tied it in her sari, the diamond. So hearing that, she went directly to her Guru Maharaj to have his darshan. And as she arrived there, he saw Sant Ravidas was sitting in his kutir, his little hut, mending an old shoes with a needle, but absorbed continuously in the divine name. There was not a single moment that the name of Giridhariji was not on his lips. So Mirabai felt prostrate in front of him, and he was very happy to see her. But as she prostrated in front of him, she took out the diamond and placed it at his feet. And he said, "What is this, my daughter?" I said, "You see, Guru Maharaj, the people are saying that you live in such a poor state, your hut is, broken, and the water what you're working is filthy, dirty, you know. I can't look at you in that way. And said, please take this and get a better place. And Saint Ravidas laughed at her. And then Saint Ravidas said, you, who is the worshipper of Giridhar Nagarana, Giridhariji, how can you say such things? This hut and this water is nothing. It's just pure Ganga for me. And I don't need anything. I have him with me. What do I need? So saying, said, I have the greatest wealth. Payo ji mene Ram ratan dhan payo vastu amolika de mere Satguru. And Mirabai said, my Guru have given me the most precious. No? What is that most precious treasure? Is the name of Sri Hari. The name of Giridhariji. So, when Mirabai did that, and Sant Ravidas said to her, but you don't need, I have all the wealth. So at that moment, what he did, he took a handful of water from the water pot which he was washing the leather, the dirty shoes, everything inside it. He took it. He said, Mira, open your hand. And when Mira opened his hand, and he dropped the water, which transformed into the most precious pearl. I said, look, I don't need anything. I have everything. We see very often our eyes betray us. Our mind is so much engaged in complication, but we look for complication always. We judge, we criticize, without even comprehend what lies behind. We see, like Mirabai saw, but Ravidas was just like that. But the see, the saint hold the greatest treasure. It's not what you see on the outside. If your mind is not ready to comprehend the deepness of that, you will never comprehend. Even when Lord Krishna said to Arjuna about this very kind of happiness, but yet you listen, but yet very often you don't hear. You keep listening, but you don't hear. Because hearing implied that a certain transformation must happen. So, you see, this is the engagement, And then he said, bow down to me. Bowing down to me, yes, it doesn't mean that only here you come, Jai. No, it's a state of humility. When we bow down, we enter into a state of humbleness. We humble ourselves. Very often people will say, why you all bow down to that person? People who come here first time are shocked. And the moment they say, I pass by there, everybody's throwing themselves down. Imagine that scene for the first time you have come here. You don't understand anything. You don't know anything about the Hindu tradition. What does that mean, really, in deepness? What it is to fall down at the feet of the master. They don't understand anything. But imagine the Western mind at that moment. My God, go crazy. No, I don't want to do that to me. Now, of course you should not do. Because if you don't understand the deeper meaning behind what Bhagavan is saying, bow down to me, it's implied that deepness, reverence, and also that humility of yourself. To bow down just like that, are they sure? Doesn't mean anything. But when sincerity are there, that blessing flow naturally. And Bhagavan said, know that I am the Supreme Lord. Yeah, Supreme doesn't mean that I am the dictator, I'm sitting there, you have to worship me, It's not about that. He said, knowing that I am the omnipresent in everything, even inside of you, without me, you will never be alive. Without me, nothing would exist. And you shall come to me. You shall attain to that realization of perceiving me, knowing that I am at all time with you. So that is the state of a devotee, actually. That state of that happiness, which doesn't depend on anything. A happiness which doesn't say, I want the acknowledgement of anybody to be happy. No. He said, no, this happiness that I'm giving you is that eternal happiness, which will not leave you, even if you want. That's why the saint can challenge Bhagavan himself, Sant Surdas. He said, you are so great. Everybody said, you are the Lord of the universe. I will acknowledge that you are the Lord of the universe only when you can take that love out of me. But Bhagavan can't. Bhagavan longs for that love. How can he? He is that love himself. And that love can't disappear. It's not like human love, It's not like human always want this and want that, and they are miserable, and one moment they are happy, 5-10 minutes, then later on they are not happy. No, it's not about that. He said, once you find me, I am in everything that you do. I am that love that you love the people. I am that love that is in you, in the husband, in the wife, and in the children. I am that love that engage into that work that you are doing. I am there. Find me. You don't need to keep changing, but see me. Love me there. Once you perceive that, that becomes eternal happiness. That's what Bhagavan is saying into that. To aim for a highest happiness. And by doing everything in the constant remembrance of Him, that's what will bring that eternal happiness. Okay. Jai Gurudev.